Greg Popovich is one of the greatest coaches in NBA history. Some people even believe he is the best coach in NBA history. I personally believe it's Phil Jackson, but Popovich definitely has an argument. He has been one of the winningest coaches ever, coaching his team to 5 championships and 6 finals appearances in the last 23-ish years. The dude has been phenomenal as the coach of the Spurs. However, because NBA fans have the approximate memory of a goldfish, they have completely forgotten how great Greg Popovich was after one season where the Spurs missed the playoffs under him, with DeMar DeRozan as their best player, and their second best player being old, like 34-year-old LaMarcus Aldridge, who plays zero defense these days. They missed the playoffs in the Western Conference, and suddenly everyone thinks that Greg Popovich is overrated, he's not really a great coach, blah 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 blah. Now, we're not here to talk about today. What we're not here to talk about today is how great of a coach Greg Popovich is. I just want to talk about the Spurs, because they have really gotten it together this season. And I didn't believe it at the start of the year, but the Spurs are quietly being really good right now. They are the 6th seed in the Western Conference. They have a 16-11 record. They have a top 10 defense and just barely outside of a top 20 offense. And it's just another year where Greg Popovich is exceeding expectations with the team. There is no reason for this team to be remotely in the playoffs in the West. There's just not. Now, we're only a third of the way through the season, and there's plenty of times for them to fall out, but as of right now, it looks like the Spurs are a playoff team, and I want to talk about it. I want to talk about what's going right with this team and how they have been playing so dang good so far. Now, looking at the talent of this San Antonio Spurs team, there's really nothing to write home about. Their best player, pretty undisputedly, is currently DeMar DeRozan, who's having a decent enough year. He's really not playing bad. I'm not giving him enough credit. 20 points, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds, and that's 7 assists with only 2 turnovers. That's very good numbers for him, and he's shooting 49% from the field. Fantastic. However, he's still only shooting 33% from 3 on 2 attempts a game, and that's just not as great as you would like. Alright? Their second best player is LaMarcus Aldridge. 14 points, and my goodness, this man only averages 4 rebounds a game. I'm just looking at this now. 4 rebounds for this dude. That's just funny to me. But 14 points, 48% from the field, 36% from 3, which is a pretty solid number for him, and 76% from the free throw line. That's kind of whatever. These are the 2 best players on this team. Both guys are over the age of 30. Both guys are bad defenders in the NBA today. Greg Popovich has thankfully stopped, well, for the most part, stopped trying to play LaMarcus Aldridge at power forward. He just can't do it anymore, and especially not in the year 2021. He's too slow, and he's too old to play power forward. Playing at center maximizes him and makes him significantly better, even if he is still a big defensive liability. Now, these 2 guys are the 2 best offensive players on the team, which has the 21st best offense in the NBA. And you look at the rest of the team, there are plenty of guys who are having decent enough offensive seasons. Dejounte Murray and Keldon Johnson are both averaging about 15 points a game on decent enough field goal percentage, like 45-46%, but they're not good 3-point shooters. And if you look at this whole team, there's really nobody who gets real minutes who's a good 3-point shooter besides Devin Vassell, who was a great pick, by the way. And who's the other one? They've got one other good 3-point shooter on this team, Patty Mills. Patty Mills has been shooting 40% from 3 on 7 attempts a game. He's been great. Other than that, however, nobody shoots 3s that well. LaMarcus Aldridge is like their 3rd best 3-point shooter, and he shoots 36%, and he takes like 2 of them a game. Alright, this is a bad 3-point shooting team. DeRozan, Murray, Johnson, Lonnie Walker Jacob Poeltl doesn't even attempt a three. Same thing with Drew Eubanks, whoever that is. I don't follow the Spurs too much. Rudy Gay has not been shooting threes very well. This is a terrible three-point shooting team. So, honestly, for them to be the 21st best offense in the NBA, I'm pretty happy with that. And a big reason why is that they run a classic San Antonio Spurs offense. This team passes the ball around a lot. They look for the good shots. Now, their assists level isn't actually that high. They're only 12th in assists. But in the little bit I've seen of the Spurs, I think that kind of undersells how good they are on offense, because they really just they let guys get their really good shot attempts. They also are very high in the league in field goal attempts per game. They're second overall in field goal attempts, and they are first in 2-point attempts. They don't take the best shots, especially classically, like Mike D'Antoni freaking rolls around in his bed every single time the Spurs take a mid-range jumper. But they make a decent enough amount of them that their offense isn't absolutely terrible, even if it's really not great. However, where this team shines is on defense. This team is the 8th best defensive team in the NBA, and when you first look at it, it's hard to see why. DeMar DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge, like I said, not good defenders. Both below average defenders. Even Aldridge finally playing the center position, dude's not a good defender at this point. However, they have a lot of other above average defenders, even if only a little bit. Murray, Johnson, Patty Mills, Lonnie Walker. Jacob Poeltl has maybe been like the most slept on player of the last 2 years. He's not great or anything. Like, he's certainly not an amazing player, but 6 points and 7 rebounds on 61% from the field. Like, he's just a very, underratedly solid bench guy. I don't know, I just think he's a very underrated player, in my opinion. Rudy Gay is a solid defender, even if he's certainly not the player he once was. Devin Vassell, in my opinion, the most slept-on rookie in the draft. The dude just doesn't get talked about as much as he should, and he's not putting up crazy numbers or anything. 5 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist on 40% from the field, 40% from 3. It's not crazy numbers out here by any means, but he's having a solid rookie season for the dude who was like the 11th pick or something, alright? Again, though, a good defender. This team has plenty of good perimeter defense, plenty of switchability, and Greg Popovich knows how to use it. They don't have one elite defender on this team, I would say. The only guy you can even kind of argue is a truly elite defender would be why the fuck do I keep calling him Jamonte? What am I saying? DeJounte Murray? But everybody else, though, you just got all these guys who are a little above average, and you've got really good rotations because of Greg Popovich. And that has allowed this team to be very, very good on defense, even though they don't necessarily have the kind of superstar, quote-unquote, defensive-level talent that many other teams have. Like, could you imagine having, like, a Ben Simmons or a Rudy Gobert on this team? They might be the best defensive team in the NBA if you just added one truly elite defender to this squad. But they don't have that, and they're only 8th. And I really don't see a reason that they wouldn't be able to keep this level of defense up throughout the season. The only issue is whether or not they can manage to stay in the playoffs, because the West is crazy. They are the 6th seed right now, but we're only a third of the way through the season. They could definitely fall out. I would say that every team ahead of them is going to stay ahead of them. The Trailblazers are going to get healthy, and they've been ridiculous this year, by the way. The Suns are good. The 2 LA teams and the Jazz. I also believe the Nuggets are going to pass them. They've started to get it together. Denver Nuggets are currently the 7th seed. And then after them, you just got all these teams. The Warriors, the Grizzlies, although I don't believe in the Grizzlies. The Mavericks, the Pelicans have a chance. All these teams, even the Rockets to an extent, have a chance to make the playoffs and pass the Spurs. And I just don't know if they can keep it up. However, whether the Spurs can or cannot make the playoffs this season, I just think that Greg Popovich and this team deserve some respect, because nobody that I know, including myself, believed this team was going to be anywhere near a playoff contender in the West this season, and yet they are, because they've got a lot of good young talent and a coach who is very, very good and finally starting to adapt his schemes, even if very reluctantly, finally starting to adapt to the modern NBA. shout out Greg Popovich, and shout out the San Antonio Spurs. This team is just really slept on. Nobody talks about them, and I just wanted to give them the respect that they deserved, all right? That I believe this team deserved. So thank you so much for watching, guys. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Check out the other videos on my channel, and have a great rest of your day.